Just give people a second. Then I want to share some thoughts. What up, what up? All right, so there's a saying that goes, the cave you are afraid to enter holds the treasure that you seek. And that just goes to show that fear keeps us from the things that we want and the things that we need. So we know that love is the highest vibration. And what up, dog? So we know that love is the highest vibration, but fear is the opposite of love. Hate is not the opposite of love. It's actually fear. People hate because of fears. So the cave that you are afraid to enter holds the treasures that you seek. So now it's interesting because rise in power to my dog Solo, one of the gospel gangsters, he showed us one, that dude taught me some hard lessons. And when I mean hard lessons, he didn't take it easy on me, but I thank him for that. But anyways, one thing he showed me in the Bible is he said, opened the Bible. I feel like he brought me to a place in Genesis, but it was so long ago that I can't, I don't know where he took me, but I found it a few other places. But he told me to read it. And he said, the Lord dwells in darkness. And that shit kind of like took me back, because I was a Christian back there. I was a little guy. But the Lord dwells in darkness. And then he said, what is the darkest place on earth? And he said, the human mind. And I was like, wow. So if you want to know, I'll just go here right quick, and I ain't going to be preaching. I just want to show a few things. But some people need proofs. So we got 1 Kings 8:12, where Solomon says, then spoke Solomon that the Lord, that he would dwell in a thick darkness. So he's dwelling in a thick darkness. And the places that Solomon is referring to, for those who want to look it up, is Exodus 20:21 and Deuteronomy 5:22. And a matter of fact, in Exodus, all of the people were afraid and backed up from the presence of God. But it says Moses drew near to the thick darkness. Now imagine that. We're assuming that it's daytime. And there is this dark presence that the presence of the Lord was in, And Moses didn't have fear. He went into that darkness. Now, what is darkness? So if light is wisdom, then darkness are the things that you have not gained the wisdom yet. Whether you don't want to go into these areas because you're afraid, or you don't want to go into these areas because of cultural taboos, it's still darkness to you. You still don't know it. You haven't shined the light of your eyes, and you haven't brought the light of your mind to this piece of information. So if I told you, what was it? If I told you that love is the whole of the law, and love with all your willpower, most people would quickly agree with me, quickly. But if I said the beginning of that statement, most people will cringe because of preconceived notions. But the beginning of that statement is, do as thou wilt. Oh, so that's from Aleister Crowley, who we haven't investigated and who we have preconceived notions, because he said things to gauge consciousness, and he also said things for shock value. If you're afraid, then you're not ready to expand your consciousness and ascend, because it's not easy. So if you're afraid, just be comfortable. Do as thou wilt is the whole of the law. That's the only part of that statement that is repeatedly driven through this culture, and it's driven by people that a lot of conspiracy theorists will say these people are evil. But he said, "Do as thou will" would be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under your will, which means love under your willpower. So we have this thing where we don't move into dark places. We naturally won't go where Christianity told us not to go. We'll naturally won't look into information that Hebrewism or all these Abrahamic faiths said all that stuff is evil. So it is a darkness to us. But it says that the Lord will dwell in the thick darkness. And you know, I'm always trying to bring the higher internal versions of these scriptures. So you have to investigate these things. Even in Solomon, Proverbs, it says to investigate both sides of the matter. And that's where the wisdom is. So we've only had one side of the matter. We've had people telling us, fear, this is evil, this is this is that, but we never investigated it. But in a world where we believe that the higher ups are evil, do you think that they made it readily available, the higher wisdoms readily available? They didn't make the higher wisdoms readily available. But we live in a free will realm. So they have to be there, but you have to be willing to go there. And they could do all they can to scare you away. That's fine. Because if you don't move into these places and investigate yourself by overcoming your own fears, then you're not deserving of the wisdom. The cave that you are afraid to enter holds the treasures you seek. So that was just an interesting piece that I wanted to share with y'all today. Do as thou wilt will be the whole of the law, which is coded. And the rest of it is love is the law. Love under your will. Love with your willpower. That's very interesting. But y'all, stay up. Love each and every one of y'all. Consciousness expansion to everybody.